Hey everybody, it's Mr. Kaufman here. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of help with our next lesson, 13.2. We're going to be studying customary units of capacity. All right, so what does that mean? Well, I've highlighted at the top to show you what customary units of capacity means. Just like in the last lesson, customary means what we use in the United States, okay? In the United States, we use different measurements than the rest of the world. We did for lengths, and we're gonna use the same. We're gonna use different measurements for capacity as well, all right? Now, units means the kinds or types of measure that we use, okay? So in this topic, in this lesson, you're going to see words like quarts. Okay, quarts is the same as writing the abbreviation QT. You're going to see the word gallons. Okay, and the abbreviation for gallons is GAL. You're going to see the word pints, and the abbreviation for pints is PT. And finally, you're going to see cups, and the abbreviation for cups is C. So these are the different types of measure for capacity, okay? Now, what is capacity? Well, capacity is how much an object holds. So if you think of your favorite sippy cup, just kidding, your favorite soda bottle or something, or water glass, it holds an amount of liquid, okay? So that is what we call capacity. If you think of at school, you have your little milk container, which looks like a little house if you think of it, and you put that chocolate milk in there. What color is chocolate? I don't have chocolate color, so I'm going to just use gray. And that chocolate milk fills up that little milk carton, and you have your little handy dandy straw, which looks like a chimney. That would be capacity also. Okay, so capacity is how much an object can hold. Usually you think of a liquid, but it doesn't always have to be a liquid. It can be a powder or something like that. If you've ever made pancakes with your mommy or your daddy, you probably use that little tool called a measuring cup. And then inside of that measuring cup, you probably put some powder to make pancake mix. That measuring cup, which has those little lines on it, that's also measuring capacity. So capacity is how much an object holds. All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to find the equivalent, how to solve inequalities, okay, with capacity. So inequalities means that you're going to use greater than, less than, or equal to, and you're comparing two units of measure. So in the first one here, we're comparing gallons to pints. All right. So this one is actually very similar to one we solved in the last video. Once I've identified the two units of measure, I now want to look at how much of each one I have. And I've noticed that the number of pints and the number of gallons is the same. So because the number of pints and gallons is the same, like before, we're going to cross out these amounts because they are the same. We're now going to compare pints versus gallons. So this is where my handy dandy chart comes into play. I have gallons right here. This is how long a gallon is. Not how long it is, but the bar model just shows you the size of a gallon compared to a pint. Okay, here is a pint. I'm just doing 1 pint. Okay, because I've crossed out the numbers because the numbers are the same. So I'm just comparing 1 gallon to 1 pint. It's pretty obvious to see that a gallon is larger than a pint. So if a gallon is larger than a pint, then that means that 5 gallons must be larger than 5 pints. Okay? And one way that you may remember this from your little smaller teachers is that the alligator always eats the bigger number. Okay? So that's actually very helpful because now that we've identified that, I think we realize now that this is the largest unit of measure, gallons. It is the largest one. And the smallest one then would be cups. Because for every 1 gallon, I need 4 quarts. That means that quarts are smaller than gallons. For every 1 gallon, I need 8 pints, which means pints are smaller than gallons, and pints are smaller than quarts. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, I don't understand that. The number's bigger. Yes, the number may be bigger, but just look at how the bar looks so you can compare. Here's 1 quart. Here is 1 pint. 1 quart is bigger than a pint. Here is 1 gallon. 1 gallon is way bigger than a quart. 1 quart is bigger than a pint. Here's a cup. As you see, gallons are bigger than quarts. Quarts are bigger than pints. Pints are bigger than cups. Okay? So that'll help us out a little bit as we do the rest of them. All right. Now for our second one, we have quarts and we have pints. And this time our units and the numbers in front are both different. So I'm going to go up to my handy dandy chart, quarts and pints. So I can see that 1 quart is the same as 2 pints. 1 quart and 2 pints are the same size. So just like we did before, if 1 quart is equal to 2 pints, then to find 3 quarts, all I have to do is multiply my 2 pints times 3 quarts. Okay, and that means that 3 quarts is equal to 6 pints. Oh, that's ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly abbreviation. Okay, so 3 quarts is the same as saying 6 pints. Now that I have that, I can pretend that that's not there. So 6 pints is what compared to 6 pints? Hey, those are exactly equal. Those are equal to each other. 3 quarts is the same as saying 6 pints, so 6 pints is equal to 6 pints. Let me go up here and take a look at that on my bar model. Let me see how that looks on my bar model. See if I can identify that on my bar model. There's 1 quart. They told us 3 quarts. So I'm just going to go over and highlight 3 quarts. There's 3 quarts. 3 quarts is the same as, Mr. Kaufman did the wrong color. 3 quarts is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pints. So there you go. You can even see on the model that 3 quarts and 6 pints are equal. So I could do this calculation just like we did for our units of length, or I could, in this example, look at the model and I can determine that those two are equal. All right. Excellent. Now this next one is tricky. I purposely put a tricky one in here just so that you could see one that might look a little different. Okay. Once again, I have 2 measures that are different, 2 units that are different. Once again, I have 2 amounts that are different. So we're going to compare cups to quarts. All right. So I'm going to go down here to cups, and I'm going to highlight the cups because there are 4 cups in 1 quart. Okay. So now you're going to see that there are 4 cups which are equal to 1 quart. Now, what makes this different is normally we have a 1 over here and the number over here is larger. See, 1 quart equals 2 pints. And the same was true when we did that for all of the other problems for length. But they can put the measures however they want. So there's a couple ways we could solve the problem. I'm going to just do it the way that we have it here. Okay, so just like before, I don't want to know 1 quart. I want to know 3 quarts. So I'm going to put my 3 quarts down here. The only difference that what we're doing is we're just going to do it a little bit backwards because the way that the problem is set up and given to us is a little bit backwards. Okay, so if I know that 1 quart is 4 cups, and I want to know how many cups 3 quarts is, I'm going to multiply 3 quarts times 4 cups because I want to figure out how many cups 3 quarts is. And if I do that, I see that 3 quarts is the same as 12 cups. Okay, so if 3 quarts is 12 cups, then how does 12 cups and 10 cups relate to one another? Well, I know that 10 cups is less than 12 cups. So 10 cups has to be less than 3 quarts. Let's go up onto our model and let's take a look at that. Let's find 3 quarts on the model. Let's highlight 3 quarts. All right. Now let's highlight 10 cups. Let's see which bar is bigger. I'll do it in blue this time. 10 cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at that. My green bar goes from here to here. My blue bar goes from here to here. As you see, 3 quarts is longer than 10 cups. So 10 cups has to be less than 3 quarts. All right, hopefully that helps you out. Don't worry, we have more videos coming.